Hey everyone, so I decided to put my printer video on hold just because I realized taking it apart would take quite a bit of time to shoot a video. So what I'm going to do is take it apart first and show you what's in that high quality printer I picked up. Instead I'm going to do the video on this PC over here. It's a P4. And I'll tell you what's inside and what's worth doing and what's worth not. So I already have this open over here. I'm going to slide this panel off. So it pretty much has everything that PC has. You have the power supply, the hard drive, motherboard, RAM, and whatnot. You have a CD drive too. So let's take some of this stuff apart. Take out the cables. Let's bring this a little closer. And some IDE cables, which should have some good gold. Got that power supply. Cables. See, now these IDE cables are usually really nice. If you're into the whole gold extraction and refining, there's some gold in all these little connectors here, so you guys should keep them. If not, snip them up. Board Sort I think pays about $1 per pound on these connectors, or any type of connector that has gold. Parallel port, serial port cables. These guys too, they have some gold in them. If you look at them clearly, cut them, send it to Board Sort, and they'll pay you. Go. Take care of the power supply. Oh, there's another IDE cable. Sorry about that, guys. Let's take out this power supply, or sorry, this heatsink, I should say. That's okay, I just dropped a bunch of screw bits. I wasn't expecting the heatsink to have flathead screws. Never seen that before. Usually it's either Phillips or they're kind of some kind of clamp that you just pop out. Almost done on the heatsink. There you go. So, got the heatsink out. So, you have the heatsink, nice piece of aluminum. You could probably get about 50 to 60 cents on the pound. The fan, you should remove it, keep it. They sell pretty well on eBay if you collect a bunch of them. Like for about 10-20 of them you might get 30 bucks, so I suggest you keep those fans somewhere else instead of scrapping them. Unless they don't work, then you should scrap them with your copper bearing motors. Let's see, we have a nice CPU here. Not really worth selling, but plenty of gold, and obviously there's gold under the aluminum spread plate. You get quite a bit of money for one of the, I think it's like $5 a pound on board sort. Again, if you're into the refining and whatnot of gold, take out the gold pins. I personally keep them on. I don't find it's worth taking that stuff out time-wise, even though it takes seconds. There's not enough weight in there to warrant ruining the CPU and losing all the value of the CPU. Because from getting $5 a pound, you end up getting less because you took out the gold. But again, unless you decide you want to refine and whatnot, it's very worth keeping that stuff. So let's get this side. Let's get to the hard drive. Sorry guys, all you guys are seeing is black now, but I'm new to this video stuff and I still haven't figured out a good angle. Right. The hard drive should be coming out. Just remove that little screw there. We should be good to go. Let's take out the CD drive too. Since we're here on the other side. There goes the hard drive. So we have this hard drive here. If it works, it might be worth selling. You might get $5 to $10 for it, even though it's old. Some people are still looking for old drives. I did some math. A lot of people like to take the boards off because they're obviously valuable. You get about, I think, if I remember correctly, about $10 per pound or $5 per pound for the boards. And obviously you have the aluminum and whatnot in here. On board sort, you get about 35 cents per pound for the hard drive without the board. After doing some math, this board would probably be worth about, at most, 40 to 50 cents weight-wise. And obviously they give you 35 for this. For the whole drive, they give you 75 cents. So again, if you're not into refining your gold and everything, it's really not worth taking this out, I find. You just sell it as is and you won't waste your time, because time is money, that's for sure. And we have the RAM, which is very valuable. Again, I did the math. You get for the gold pin, for the gold fingers, you'll get maybe a quarter for all of this. I did the math yesterday, and once you take out this, you get almost nothing for the board, from like $10 a pound for the full ram. You get maybe 4, and all you get is a quarter for the gold fingers. So if you're not into refining, just put them in a pile, sell them complete. Right, so we have the DVD drive. Wow, that didn't exist back then. So we have your CD drive here. This is actually worth taking out the board, because they pretty much don't pay anything for this. You'll get scrap price, steel prices for that. Inside there's the board. I think they pay $1 or $2 for the board on Board Sort. So it's worth taking this apart and getting the board out. What's left is pretty much the motherboard. And as you can see, you have some aluminum, you have a little bit of copper. Again, if you're into refining gold, these guys here, this, even this here inside, this over here, all have gold pins. Even the connectors here, the serial ports, USB ports, all of that. If you open them up, you'll get gold pins out of them. So that's always good. Obviously there's gold in the I guess what you call flat packs or IC chips here. You can pick all that stuff out. There's the monolithic capacitors, which have the silver and palladium. Those are really good. Actually, I would take this stuff out. I'm actually going to take that stuff out before I sell the board as whole. For the board as whole, I think you'll get about $2. It weighs approximately about a pound, so it's it's $2-3 a pound. I'm definitely gonna keep the board intact. I went through and tried the refining and whatnot. It really didn't work for me. I found it was too much time. Then you have the power supply up here. If it works, I would say put them in a pile, like the fans. When you get a bunch of them, sell them, because you'll get a lot more money than the scrap value. I think I sold about 20 of them, and I got, I would say, about $80 out of the 20. So it's not bad, because scrap value you'll get maybe $2 in total out of this. So definitely worth taking that and keeping it if it's still working. So I know a lot of people like taking the gold pins and gold fingers and all of that. I did the math. You guys could do it too. Really not worth it if you're not gonna refine them yourself. If you're just gonna cut them to resell them, just keep the whole chip together, sell them like that. So if you guys have any suggestions, and I guess making more money out of a PC, let me know. I'm always looking for making more money. If you guys have any questions, I'll try to help, or try to find the answer somewhere and help you guys. You guys can leave a message at the bottom of the video, and you could look up my other videos too on how to scrap PlayStations and whatnot, PlayStation 3s. So have a good evening, guys, and talk to you soon. Hey everyone, so here's another video. Had a bunch of these coffee makers, none of them work, and they're so cheap, like $30-40, just not really worth repairing them to sell. So I decided to take this apart and see what's inside, see what scrap value there is. I'm sure there's some kind of board here, some cables. Let's check it out and see. I've never done this, so hopefully it doesn't take too long. A little reservoir thing over here, screws there. Let's undo the bottom here. I'm guessing this is the main access to the interior. Till now, not too complicated opening it up. Pretty simple. Garbage plastic. Oh, and we have some, I guess, some kind of heating element thing in here. So let's continue taking this apart. See what else is inside. More garbage plastic, some screws. I usually let the screws drop and collect them after. Let's see what we have in here. For sure this is the heating element, I guess. That's what it's called. Let's get this little pipe out here. There you go. Some other stuff holding it in here. I'm not sure why. It's probably cables and whatnot. Nothing important there. It's probably this thing right here that's holding it. Top off. There you go. Maybe some more screws. Some more screws. Found some other stuff here. Let's see what's in here. Probably hidden screws. At least that's what it looks like. These little caps here. Difficult to take out for some reason. Another screw here. Got a vent thing, garbage. Let's see here. There you go. Oh, that tough little cap to take out. So that's why sometimes you have to break this stuff to get access. Doesn't really matter if you break this stuff because it's garbage anyway. Don't see any of things holding it together, so little reservoir thing, a little pipe from before. There you go, that's what was holding it. The pipe. So got this heating coil element thing. There's a couple of screws here. Got that out. Cut this a little bit so I can show you guys how this thing looks. So obviously this definitely is aluminum. A magnet here from a hard drive that I use for testing. Oh no, definitely steel. Oh, look at that, I was definitely wrong. So that kind of sucks, because inside this there's copper tubing all inside here, so I'm not too sure if it's worth cutting up and doing something with it to try to get the copper out. I don't think it's really possible, or at least worth it. I'm curious to know if this would be a copper bearing motor. Wonder if this would fall into that category. So we got this thing. There's a bunch of wiring in here. Let's see if we can get to it by hacking and breaking. Another screw here. Should be able to remove the side panel. There you go. Got this paneling out. To remove this cable here. Sorry for the video. Kind of a big object and hard to kind of take a good overview shot, I guess, if you want to call that. Alright, so more plastic garbage. Now you can start seeing more of what's inside this thing. More screws, lots of screws. Magnet. Let's see here. Should be able to get into this compartment now. Alright, so definitely in. Not sure if you guys can see, it's kind of like a, I guess, a brown board in there. Some cables. Can get the drill in there, so screw it by hand. And I think the only thing left in here is the I guess the operator panel board. See what's in there. So we got a little board here. Alright, there you go. So I guess this is the power board. So we got a little brown board with some cables. It's some more cabling in here, but I think that's associated to the operator panel. There you go, nice other piece of cable, more screws. We can bust this thing open. Nothing special there. Let's see now. Let's see if we can pry open that face panel. I can get something in there. Found another screw. If that did anything. There you go. I'm getting into it. There you go. So we busted open the operator panel. It seems to be like it's another brown board. Hey everyone, long time haven't posted anything. I think the last video I did was in December. The funny thing is I had made a video and I actually deleted it. It was kind of similar stuff, but there was a Nintendo and a Super Nintendo and games and everything, and I had made a nice video tearing everything down, but like a bozo I kind of deleted the video. So I got this stuff recently. Actually, this is from the previous video. These are Nintendo and Super Nintendo game cartridges. Didn't matter what I did to them, clean them, clean the tips, things like that. They just did not work. Nothing worked. So I guess they had some kind of defect or something. So like you can see in Nintendo, this is I think a Super Nintendo cartridge. Like you can see there's quite a bit of gold fingers, the IC chips. This is what a Nintendo, the internal of a Nintendo cartridge looks like. Again, the gold fingers, the IC chips. Some good stuff in that type of item if it's obviously not working. So what I have here, just quickly, we have these N64 cartridges. The cartridges themselves aren't worth that much. If you would sell them on eBay, let's say, you'd make like a couple of bucks. But again, they're defective, not in good shape. I cleaned them multiple times using tricks found on YouTube and everything, and they just didn't work. So again, they're very similar to the Nintendo and Super Nintendo cartridges. So there's all the gold tipped here, and for sure once you crack it open there'll be IC chips and everything. So let's see what we can do here. If we can do something quickly to show you what the internals of a Nintendo 64 cartridge is. These take a special type of bit which I don't have, but you could buy on eBay and Amazon for sure. Probably just costs a few dollars. I think last time I checked, I don't get much of this stuff, so not really worth it. Just break it. Simple as that. a little tough here. Not using the right tools either. Mostly because I'm lazy. So don't be lazy, people. So there you go. So we busted it open. So like you can see, the internals is pretty much like I said. You have the gold tips here, some IC chips. So you got some gold in there, so that's good. So this is all going to be the same. So now we have this controller, which is physically in okay shape, but I know doesn't work. Not really worth to fix these PlayStation 1 controllers. They're just not that valuable compared to some of the other controllers out there. So let's open this guy up, see what happens. So we have a nice piece of cable here. Where is that screwdriver? I was using it yesterday. There it is. Well, let's open this guy up, see what's inside, which is pretty much going to be maybe a brown board. I'm not sure about these older. I know most of the older controllers like Super Nintendo and Nintendo, they have like a brown board, and that's pretty much it. But this one might be a little more valuable. Should be a little bit more valuable, I think, similar to the PS3 board, which is a peripheral board. The only thing is that even selling a broken PS3 controller, you'll get $5 out of it after fees and shipping and everything. Yeah, those PS3 controllers are still quite valuable. Obviously, you should definitely not scrap them. Alright, almost done. Couple of more screws and we'll be able to see what's inside this controller. But even though it's broken, I probably would have sold this thing, and I would have put it aside, and once I would have gotten more broken video game controllers, which I do get quite often, probably would have just sold it in a lot or something. And sorry, I have a slight cold. Weather's been up and down around here. Almost done. So yeah, this might be a peripheral board, or at least considered one. Also, there was a comment I received recently about what's considered an IC chip and everything. Actually, we just put these guys in as IC chips. I figured after looking on board sort, trying to figure out what they would be. My best guess was that, but someone told me that no, those would be considered CPUs without metal or pins, I think. So obviously a lot more valuable than the IC chips, I think. Might be wrong on that. So no, it would definitely be considered maybe like a green board at most, but definitely a brown board, like you can see. So not too much value in these things. Some copper bearing motors, nothing too special there. Now on the actual system, oh, there's a demo disc in there. It did not spin or anything. It powered on but didn't spin. Not really worth fixing, because selling a PS1 is maybe 20 bucks and more headaches than anything if you ship it and it doesn't work and all that. Not really worth selling online, at least maybe locally if it was working. And this is also a less popular, kind of like a mini new model type PS1, so to a collector it has even less value, because obviously the collector wants the original. So let's see what we have. So we definitely have a little motor here. Definitely doesn't look like there's much in copper. There's some aluminum here on the laser. I'm not sure how worth it is to take that apart. Another little motor here, little cable, little metal plate here, protection, and then we have the main motherboard. And from what I see, there's not much on it. Well, I can't say not much, but definitely don't see any gold directly. The connectors don't have gold, or none of these do. But there's IC chips, also the monolithic capacitors, which are always pretty good. There's a switch here, so this guy right here might have some silver in it. So well, typical peripheral board, about $1.25 a pound or something. So like you can see in the system itself, doesn't have much value. Didn't take long to take apart, so I definitely would take it apart. I wouldn't just scrap it. It's not like some of the other things that scrappers get that kind of aren't worth taking apart, like large motors and things like that that you have to cut into with saws and everything. But might be $1 or so worth of stuff in here. You can always try to sell it as broken, but like I said, a working system goes for 20, so not sure how much you get for a broken one. And like I said, we got these nice little gold connectors. I would say scrap value isn't that high overall, but again, it also didn't take long to take apart. Maybe at most a couple of bucks, max 3 worth of scrap. I wouldn't give it more than that. So that was my little quick video, just to catch up on some postings and everything. And like I said, I made a video and everything, and like a bozo, I deleted it. So fortunately, you got the lesser of the 2 videos in this one. Anyway, hopefully you guys liked the video. If you guys have any comments or advice or anything, I'd love to hear from it, like the previous YouTuber who told me about the IC chips and flat packs and all that. Thank you. That's always great to get information like that where you make more money. I'm hoping to make another video pretty quickly, hopefully late this month or mid next month. So happy scrapping. Hopefully you guys make some money.